Coach Prime Time. Coach Prime. Deion Sanders is headed to Colorado. Man, big homie Mel. Just initial thoughts, feelings about Coach Prime. Deion Sanders headed to Colorado. Is it the right fit, right spot? Did he move? Did he leave Jackson State too soon? Did he stay too long? Did he do enough? Initial thoughts and feelings about Coach Prime headed to Colorado.
He went from the niggas to the other side. That's my initial thoughts.
That's your initial thoughts?
But as I was contemplating on the situation, I don't know, man.
You gotta get a real astute and studious,
right? You know what I'm saying? No, but man, I kind of got mixed feelings about it, man. You know, my thing is, I'm always, let me say this first and foremost. I ain't never gonna tell nobody how to get their bag.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you look at some of the things he does a lot. He does a lot for the community. He did a lot for that coaching staff. I mean, you know, he took some of his salary to help pay their salary because they weren't getting nothing. The school couldn't afford, you know, to pay them like PWI schools. So, you know, you can't really fault him for that. And how long you expect for a man to take a pay cut out of his bread, you know what I'm saying, to support somebody else? I mean, you know, so you can't knock him for that. And then on the other side of it, I knew eventually he was going to leave. I just thought maybe too soon, because I would like to see him lay a stronger foundation where anybody can jump in there and continue that same mode.
Keep the same trajectory going. Yeah.
I think right now it's like once his recruits is gone, well, they go with him through the transfer portal or go through him, you know, go through the rest of the season, whatever time they got left in Jackson State, and go on to the NFL, wherever they're gonna go. I think that program's gonna go back to where it used to be because the draw was Deion. You know what I'm saying? I like to see him move from the draw being from him to Jackson State. You know, and then I think it would have been a good time for him to leave. You know, because that way, you look at, I mean, a lot of these schools now has been established for years. You know, like some schools have been founded in 1840, 1870. You know, early 1900s. A lot of schools have been around for a while, so it took them a while to get that foundation. So I'm not saying he should stay that long, but stay long enough where, you know, it's a stronger foundation where people want, I'm going to Jackson State. You know, well,
and not just because I'm going to Jackson State because Deion there.
Because of Deion there. You know what I'm saying? I like what they doing. I like how they bring him, you know, I have an opportunity there. And see, now I don't think people see the opportunity because Deion's in Colorado. You know, so I mean, like I said, I don't fault him because if you're looking, let's talk about Eddie Robinson. Legendary coach.
Stayed at Grambling State for like years.
But how's that program when he was there? How great was Grambling? It was great in HBCU, but were they great outside of that?
On that scale, great HBCU while Eddie Robinson was there. Now, if you could compare Grambling State to what these PWIs or Power 5 schools, there's no comparison.
Right. So my thing is, yeah, he stayed for a while and he did great things for them, but he still didn't put Grambling there where people want to say, I'm going to Grambling and I'm graduating from Grambling and I'm going to the NFL. We can name a handful of people that went there in the NFL. A handful. That's it. You know. So I think that's the only problem is that now I hate to see that the HBCUs have become a stepping stone and not a place that I want to go to. As I'm a young coach, young black coach, want to get into the coaching. I go to HBCU for a couple of years, and somebody see what I'm doing, and I'm going over to go to the PWI. And I hope that's not the pattern that he started.
Yeah.
That's the only thing with me.
It's crazy. It's crazy because I'm almost like you. I do got mixed emotions, only because I was hoping that Deion would stay long enough, just like you said, to establish Jackson State,
Mm-hmm.
not just because you got Deion Sanders at Jackson State.
Right.
And uh, to his credit, he did a lot for Jackson State in the city of Jackson, Mississippi, in 3 years. Did a lot.
Right. A
I
lot.
mean, literally changed the doorknobs on all the buildings. Got him a new practice field. Got him a new locker room that was up to code, or at least up to the standards to compete with your Power Five schools.
Right.
So he did do that. He was able to, get some limelight on HBCUs in general that was a light that was dwindled or
Mm-hmm.
was barely on. So we got to give him credit for that. Look, Deion did an amazing job. He did a lot in a short amount of period of time in 3 years. So I would never take that away from him, and I'm proud that he did that. Uh, the only problem is he did so much so fast that it put him in that situation where PWIs are going to look like, wow, he did and accomplished so much at that level in a short amount of time. Yo, just imagine what he can do at our program with more better facilities, more money, more budget, more this, more that. And I hate to say that it's more, but that's just the facts of the matter is when you're at an HBCU and you got one of these Power 5 schools, which Colorado is in the Pac-12, they have better funds. They have better budget. They have better facilities. They pretty much on the board, if you compare them side to side, there's probably a lot more better athletically for these athletes that they can get at Colorado than at Jackson State. And Deion Sanders was trying to balance that. He was trying to balance an HBCU and get them comparing to these Power 5 schools athletically or what they can provide for these athletes.
Right.
And I just wish, and I said it last week, I just wish he would at least gone one freshman class all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
At least one freshman class all the way through.
Right.
And like I said, I'm like you too. I'm not gonna never knock a man for wanting to upgrade his money, wanting to upgrade his bag. I'll never do it because this is a dog eat dog world, and you got to get your bag. You got to get your paper. And I'm glad you brought this up.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know this. That yes, Deion was taking money from his own salary to make sure his assistants were getting paid.
Right.
And I think this right here and that part right there is probably the biggest reason why he left. Because for the whole 3 years, he was fighting to get his assistants more money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the only hurdle that he felt that he just can't get over that one. I personally feel that way. I absolutely 100% feel that Deion Sanders was like, look, this is the only hurdle I've literally been fighting for 3 years is to get more money from my assistants. And if I can't get it, then maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign that I gotta go somewhere else to make sure that my assistants get paid because they're sacrificing time from their family, friends, and literally investing a lot into those children just as much as Deion, if not more.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so it's not right for Deion to get paid a certain salary, and market wise, his assistants are nowhere close to the market value of these other assistants in other schools. So I can't fault him for that. In a perfect world, Jackson State has unlimited budget and Deion Sanders goes nowhere.
Right.
In a perfect world. But you know what? And this is to my people, and especially our people that look like us, and please don't call this man a sellout. Please don't call this man.
So they already started it.
Well, I know they started it, but my thing is and you know how that word makes us feel in our community. Mm-hmm. You know how that word makes us feel. That's not fair to put that on Deion. Because name another player, name another man that has had so much profile and willingly, not asked to or begged to, willingly went to the situation he went to. And not only did he do it, he turned around. And look, I'm not happy that it was only a short amount of time. I'm not happy about it.
No.
But guess what? I'm looking at the positives of what he done. And I can't sit there and be mad that he only did it for 3 years.
Yeah, I'm like you, man. I mean, I saw on Facebook where somebody called him a fraud, and I had to not respond, put it that way, because it wouldn't have came out like I wanted to come out. Because here's the thing, man. I'm gonna say two things. One is those who call him a sellout, especially ones that look like him. If you have money, why didn't you put money into that school to help push the program further? Especially alumni, but even the people outside the alumni that want to really see and talk this, we got to stay black, we got to do this. And why you not pushing that program and donate money? All these big time record producers that look like us, all these big time musicians that look like us, these movie stars that look like us, put money into it. So people like Deion don't have to go.
Yeah.
Help build the facilities. Help, and then if you can't, and not only that, put him in rooms with people who can put more stuff into the facilities. Because you may have connections. You may have a contract with Coke. You may have a contract with Nike or whoever. Put him in those rooms. Learn how to network within what you have to build. So people like him don't have to go to Colorado unless they want to go to Colorado. And then the other part of that is that sports sometimes collide with our culture, our life, things that we do. Here's one of those things that, and I want nobody to take this wrong, but I'm just the only way I know how to say it. It's one of those things that it's a sports related thing, but it's also part of our culture related thing. And sometimes people outside of a culture will see it one way than the way we see it. And then they'll make comments, he a fraud, or he this or he that, because they don't feel like we feel it. You ever go into a room and you ain't never met the person you're like, and there's another person look like you, and y'all can communicate non-verbally. It's just something we have
all the time.
You know what I'm saying? Something we have is that connection. It's just part of our culture. And I think like some people outside of our culture won't understand that, that connection, that thing that we have. And then so when we see certain things, we feel it different than other people do. It's not to say you don't understand. I'll say you don't have any empathy. It's not to say that you cannot understand some of what we're talking about. But there's another level to it that we feel it different.